Hi everybody, today I'm going to be making this card. It is a money holder card and I got the idea for it from Dawn Griffiths. She is a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and she had a video, I don't know how old it is, but she had a video on this and I thought it would be cool to make for a graduation card because, let's face it, we can make all of the pretty cards we want to. The main goal for the graduate is what's inside, which is the money, which there isn't any in here, but you know, you get the idea. When you open it, there is a slot here that you can put your money in, and so yeah, this is what we're going to be making today. So let's get started. First thing you want to start with is a piece of cardstock that measures 8.5 by 9 1/4. It is scored on the 9 1/4 side at 3 1/4 and 6.5, and then you turn it and then you score it at 7.5 on the 8.5 inch side. The next thing you want to do is fold on all of your score lines. And then you want to turn it over and you want to cut on the 1 inch score line all the way up to the 6.5 inch point. Because this is it's going to be the part with the slot. The short end, which is this end right here, is going to be the slot where the money goes. The next thing you want to do is I'm going to have to bring back in my my paper trimmer. And what I'm going to do is on the side that has the flap, I'm going to fold that in. And then I'm going to angle the cardstock onto the trimmer where the point, the very tip, is in the groove. Because I want to cut off a part of this so that you can see the money a little bit better and you get that nice angle. There you go. The next thing I'm going to do is grab some red line adhesive or sticky strip or whatever it is that you call it. And then I'm going to put some sticky strip right along the edge here where that flap is, because that's what's going to hold the money in place. Getting this off. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fold that up like so. The next thing I'm going to do is grab my my StazOn ink. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside little congratulations. And I am using the stamp set that I've been using for most of my greetings lately. And it's called Greetings from the Paper Studio. And I just took the congratulations from that, or the congrats. And I'm going to ink it up really well. And just stamp it in the bottom right hand corner. Then there's a little star that's in that little set, and I just put that on a small block. And I ink that up too. And I'm just going to stamp this right in the corner there. And the inside is done. And I'm going to just put this aside. The next thing I'm going to do is grab just a scrap piece of white cardstock. And then I'm going to grab my Brilliant Blue. And I'm going to ink this up really well. What I want from this stamp, and I'm using this Studio 112 stamp, It came from the dollar section at Joann's, and I've been finding a lot of cute stamps in the dollar section at Joann's lately. I bought a bunch a few weeks back. So I'm just gonna ink that up really well. And I just want the hat because I'm gonna cut that out. So I'm gonna stamp it once, and then I wanted the color to be a little bit more intense. So I'm gonna stamp it again and hope that I line it up properly. Is take my Versamark and I'm gonna cover this. I'm gonna cover the whole hat in Versamark. And I did do another video on how to cover, you know, I had a whole butterfly glittered, and I'm basically doing the same thing with this hat. And now it has a nice glitter effect on it. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is grab my piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to take the stamp that the grad cap stamp that I just had. Clean off my stamp. And then stamp it onto the white cardstock, and the black stays on. And with this, I'm really gonna focus on the words, because I'm just gonna put the hat over the one that I cut out over the image on the cardstock. And I want to try to get this as straight and as centered as I possibly can. It probably won't be, but I can try. Perfect. Now I'm going to take a sponge, and I'm going to sponge around the edges of my piece of white cardstock. I'm going to just, you know, give it some color. Probably get covered up anyway. The next thing I'm going to do is go back to my StazOn and stamp my 2011 in the bottom corner over here, in this bottom right hand corner. So, and I'm using this alphabet set from Inkadinkado. It's called Somerset. It may still be available. I know I bought it a while ago, so I'm not sure. But I'm just going to use my StazOn. And I should start from, usually I would start from the end and work my way over, but I've made this a few times, so I kind of have an idea of where it should go. Okay, and that part is finished. The next thing I'm going to do is add some stars. And the stars that I'm using, I just cut out from my poorly neglected little Cricut. And I used the Georgian Basic Shapes. And I just cut out some stars in black. And I used, this is a 1.5 and this is a 1 1/4. And then I did a silhouette in blue a little while ago. I did a silhouette in blue and have blue ink on my hand. And I glittered it. So you can see I glittered it. It needed to a little bit to dry, so I did that beforehand. But I'm just going to figure out where I want to place my stars. And then I'm just going to use a 2-way glue pen to adhere them down. So, I'm happy with that. I'm just going to cut off where the stars overhang. And then I'm going to take my silhouette, glittered silhouette stars, and I'm just going to use 2-way glue pen and adhere those down as well. Okay, next I am just going to adhere my white piece down to my black piece of cardstock, and this white piece measures 7 by 2 3/4, and this black sheet measures 7 1/4 by 3. And then I'm going to adhere this down to here. But first, I'm going to take some ribbon so I can have the ribbon that ties it, holds the whole thing closed on here. And I took about 18 inches of ribbon. You might want more, but you definitely don't want less. And this black cardstock, as you can probably see, is die cuts with a view. Now I'm going to take a couple of pieces, a couple of dimensionals for the hat. And I'm actually going to use a couple of the little pieces down here for this side part of the hat. And I'm going to tie it. And there it is. There is the card. If you have any questions, you can either leave it on YouTube or on my blog at theinkspot76.blogspot.com. It was fun. That's all I have to say, and I will see you later. Bye.